So, guys, we're gonna continue with our series about the ultimate guide to love and relationship. And as I mentioned in previous sessions, these kind of information are good for singles and also for people who are in a relationship. Um, and as a reminder for every session, I believe that every couple should be working on these this stuff. So you need to memorize this list, because if you are in a relationship or you are preparing for a relationship, it is good to know what are the foundations for a successful relationship. Because if you see problem within any relationship, you can identify the cause of the problem, because the cause of the problem will be one of these points. So I believe every couple should understand and reflect on these points. Like the first one is how to renew love and excitement and the friendship within the romantic relationship, how to show acceptance, empathy, and emotional intimacy. They also need to discuss childhood experience and the family of origin and the differences. And they need to discuss also differences in personality and temperament. And this is what we're going to discuss today, the personality and temperament and influence. They need also to be aware of distorted thoughts. We all somehow struggle with distorted thoughts or irrational thoughts to some degree, especially under stress, and also if you struggle with anxiety and depression. So they need to know or talk about if any side in the relationship is using black and white thinking or catastrophizing or personalization. So all these cognitive distortion need to be part of their discussions. Also, they need to talk about how to handle conflict and find the common ground and communication and how to communicate together. Another thing is how to talk about sexual intimacy. Okay, also definition of fidelity, boundaries, and parenting. How to experience gratitude in relationship. Learning how the importance of letting go and forgiveness. How we're gonna cope with the challenges and the loss within the relationship. How we can share our dreams and the goals for future. So memorize these points. Use it all the time to maintain emotional stability with any relationship. Okay. The way we do it here is we're going to discuss all these points, but you can use these discussion or questions that we're going to present with your partner. If you're going to talk with your partner about these things, intimacy, friendship, love, empathy, gratitude, childhood experience, cognitive distortion, any of these, you need, to hug and smile each other before the discussion and after the discussion. You need also to be open, respectful, and non-judgmental. It is better to be facing each other. If you can prepare a soothing drink and put a relaxing music, it would be great too. And you can call it connection rituals. Like these are the connection. And at least once a week, you need to have a discussion. It doesn't have to be like, okay, today we're going to study love and excitement. Whatever is a week about, you can choose the points that you can talk with your partner. Anyway, today is our discussion about temperament and personality. In psychology, when we say temperament, this means the genetic part of your personality. Our personality is based on two things. There is a genetic kind of, you are born that way. This is part. And there is also environment, like all the experience you go through is part of your personality. So there is something in the personality, it's called temperament. And this is referred to the individual differences that are biologically based or genetically based. Okay. This temperament that you are born with affect your action, communication, attitudes, and values. Okay. There are some people who are born extrovert, some people who are born introvert, some people who tended to believe more in logic and rationalize everything. Some people tended to follow their heart and feeling. Some people like structure and routine. Some people are open and more flexible. So you'll find these differences. I'm sure you think now, oh, okay, no, this is based on your experience. It's what you, the role model and what you learn from your parent. You're gonna copy the behaviors that you see. No, but partially, I would say 60% of your personality is genetic. Okay, so any personality traits, 60% of it is genetic. The more you understand and respect and appreciate these differences, okay, the more you can maintain emotional stability. It's not so everyone is coming from a genetic background different, environmental background is different. Okay, everyone will have some people are introverts, some people are extrovert. So you need to understand each other. Okay, this is a good step, but also you need to respect and appreciate the difference. Okay, because, and this is what we learn, how we're gonna respect and appreciate the differences. Okay, because I believe in relationship, we complement each other. It's like this. Okay, we complement each other. Okay, so if one partner is extrovert, the other partner is introvert, it doesn't mean this one is good and this one is bad. Okay, we just complement each other. They're gonna add and teach each other something different, and they're gonna teach each other how to look at life in a different ways. The same thing with any different. So how okay, so there are multiple differences. We call them, the biologically based ones are genetic one, we call it temperament. Okay, to address these differences, you need to ask each other these questions. Okay, so if you are a couple attending this session, you can use these questions today and discuss it. And if you are single or you are not in any relationship, you can use the same question to understand yourself. As I mentioned before, you can't start a relationship or try to understand the other without first connecting with yourself and understanding yourself. Okay, so the first questions to address the differences is, do you prefer to be alone or with others? You know, some people tended to be, I told you, introverts. Some people tend to be extrovert. So what are you? Do you prefer to be alone or with others? Another question is, do you gather your information by paying attention to reality or trusting your intuition? You know, some people will rely mainly on facts and gathering information. Some people will know they trust more their intuition and feeling and their heart, and they make decision based on just intuition. Okay, so again, the same question is, do you make your decision based on fact or emotion? Okay, some people follow the facts, some people follow the emotion. Another question, do you tend to be structured and firm or more flexible and adaptable? So some people tend to be firm, they like the routine, they don't like a change. Some people are flexible, they like variety in everything. So which one you are? When you are stressed, do you need to be by yourself and you need a space, or you need to be comforted by others? So the same thing, you need to be alone or you need to be around others when you are stressed. Okay. Again, do you like routine or variety in things? If you have a problem, do you like to plan to fix the problem or fix things, or you like to consult with others and talk to someone? Okay. The last question is, do you think that your partner respect and appreciate the differences between you and them? So again, do you think your partner respect and appreciate the differences? So these are the questions you are supposed to ask yourself, or you and your partner have a discussion about them. The exercise number 1 today is, how could partners respect and appreciate their differences? So give me examples on maybe based on your past experience, maybe based on your current experience, maybe it's based on your future, goals for relationships. Tell me how partners, like example, like you're introvert, she is an extrovert. You tended to be independent all the time. Your partner tended to be dependent all the time. How are you gonna find common ground, or how are you gonna appreciate these differences? Someone who is very open, another one is the other one is very private. Okay, so how are we gonna live together even we are different? So the question is, how could partner respect and appreciate their differences? This is the main question for exercise 1, but also tell me about yourself. Tell me, do you prefer to be alone or with others? Do you follow the reality and the facts or intuition? Do you make decision based on facts or emotion? Are you tended to be structured and firm or flexible? When you are stressed, do you need do you need a space, or do you need to be comforted by others? Do you like routine or variety? Do you like to, when there is problem, do you like first to plan to fix these problem, or do you like to consult with others first? And how do you think, if you are in a relationship, do you think your partner, or even previous relationship, past relationship, do you think your partner respect and appreciate the differences? And the main question, if you don't want to answer this question, like personally, just tell me, how could partner respect and appreciate their differences? Another question here is, or another part is the influence. Okay, I told you the personality, there is part in it is genetic, biological, it's kind of born this way. And also there's influence from the environment, or from your parent, or your friend, or your sibling. Okay, there is something we know in psychology, that consistent and reliable care and attention during childhood positively impact our self-esteem. So our self-esteem, to have a good self-esteem, you need consistent, reliable care and attention from primary caregiver. We know on the other side, if you had rough upbringing, or you had there was emotional, physical, or sexual abuse or neglect, this will negatively impact our self-esteem. Also, your parent, the relationship between you and your parent, and you'll find this part in my book about attachment. There is difference between secure attachment and insecure attachment. If you have secure attachment, you and your parent, there is a secure attachment, or your primary caregiver, your grandparent, whoever was taking care of you, if there is a secure attachment, it is easy for you to copy this secure attachment in future relationship. But if it is insecure, and insecure has multiple types. There is the anxious, you find it in my book, or if you read about the attachment theory, there is the anxious attachment, there is the avoidant attachment, there is the anxious avoidant attachment. We call all of them is insecure. The same thing, sometimes we tended to copy this insecure attachment with our future partners. Sometimes if you don't have good healthy parent, sometimes a caring older siblings, or caring grandparent, or caring teachers, they can give sense of self-worth. Of course, the primary caregiver has the most influence, but the environmental factor, it could be multiple factors. But anyway, to summarize, anything that you saw, or you heard, or you felt, especially this one, if anything you felt in the past, has it changed you in subtle ways? Sometimes very obvious ways, but sometimes very subtle. Okay, but how are we going to work? What we're going to do now? You need to know and identify and share these influences in your life with your partner. This is the point that I want to address. We had many influences. Some of them are positive, some of them are negative. The main thing here is identify them, see how it impacts you, share it with your partner. This will make life much easier. So the same thing, if you are partners who are attending this session, you can answer these questions based on the interaction. Or if you are not in a relationship, answer this question as if Dr. Atala is the one who was asking you these questions. So the first question, and I think this is the most important question, how do you think, who do you think was the greatest influence on how you love? Like, who was your role model in loving? Is it your dad or is it your mom? Like, to learn to love yourself and love others, there is an influence from someone. So who do you think was the greatest influence on how you love? And what did you learn from that person? So if you tell me it is my mom, I learned how to love myself and others, or maybe others focus on others from my mom. Tell me, okay, what did you learn from her? Okay, another question, who had the greatest influence on your self-esteem? Who had the greatest influence on your self-esteem? Another question is, who had the greatest influence on your career choice? And who had great influence on your life goals? And who had the greatest influence on how you parent? Okay, like parenting skills. Did you learn it from whom? Did you learn? Who's the greatest influence? Some people would say, oh, my mom, I want to be a good parent like my mom, or I want to be a good parent like my uncle or my grandparent. You tell us who had the greatest influence and how. Who had the greatest influence on you, on how to handle stress and challenges? Another question, does your partner has influence on you? Like, have your partner influenced you in any way? Another question, who have you admired the most in your life? Who have you admired the most in your life? Okay, and another question, who are you most grateful for in your life? Who are you most grateful for in your life? So again, it's almost the same question. Who had the greatest influence in certain areas in your life? Who had the greatest influence on you, on how to love, on your self-esteem, on career choices, on life goals, on how to parent, on how to handle stress and the challenges? Who do you admire the most in your life? And who are you most grateful for in your life? Okay, so these are very good questions for self-reflection. Also, it's very good question to have a conversation about with your partner. Our exercise number 2 is answering all these questions. I would love to know who had great influence on you, on your career choices, on life goals, on how to love, on how to parent, how to manage stress, how to handle challenges, stuff like that. And who is you admire the most in your life? A main question in exercise number 2, tell me, how do past relationship affect future relationship? So if you had a previous relationship, like, I mean, romantic relationship, how do you think this affected or gonna affect your future relationship? Because this is an influence too. So I'm talking here maybe about childhood influence, all these. It's gonna tend to, the answer gonna tend to be your teachers, your parents, your grandparents, something that happened 10 years ago, 15 years ago. But this question, exercise number 2, is how do past relationships affect, for example, if you had a negative experience with your ex, and he was very rude all the time. So maybe this gonna affect future relationship by that you have this core belief that all men are rude, or all men are unfaithful, something like that. So if you have, this has become a fixed core belief that all men are rude, all men are unfaithful. This is of course gonna, and this is what you learn from the past experience. Okay, I think this is how you're gonna see the future relationships. So again, I'm gonna go through these questions quick again. So we have exercise 1, exercise 2. Both of them are good for relationship, also for self-awareness and self-reflection. To be successful in life, whatever success at home, at work, with friends, in relationship, you need to improve self-awareness. And these questions will help you with that, to know who you are. Once you know who you are, it's easy to handle problems in life. It is easy to communicate with others. It's easy to solve a conflict. It is easy to succeed in business. It's easy to parent kids. It's easy. Everything is going to be easy, but start by knowing yourself first. So these questions are going to help you to know yourself. General question: do you prefer to be alone or with others? Do you prefer to follow your heart and intuition, or do you follow reality and facts? Do you tend to be firm or flexible? When you are stressed, do you need space or you need to be comforted by others? Do you like routine or variety? Do you like to plan to fix things or to talk to someone and to consult with others first? Do you think your partner respect and appreciate the differences between you and them or not? And the exercise 1 is mainly how could partner respect and appreciate the differences? Because I'm sure you know that the differences are the cause of the conflicts. Okay, so if we are able to see differences as a positive thing and something you can appreciate and something you like, I think it is gonna solve lots of the problem. The other question is about influences. So again, you're gonna tell me who have the greatest influence on you, on how to love, on your self-esteem, career choices, life goals, parenting skills, how to manage stress and challenges, who are you admire the most, who you are most grateful for. These are all good questions to discuss with your partner and for self-reflection. I'll give you 5 minutes, then Brooklyn will run the discussion. Thank you.